Welcome back to SLOBCAST. This is the weekly podcast where I talk about my life as a professional streamer and tips on how you can become a better broadcaster on Twitch, YouTube gaming, Mixer, and other streaming platforms. We also talk about video games and just other random topics. Episode 3 today is going to be talking about the importance of expanding to multiple platforms such as YouTube and social media tools whenever you're broadcasting and you want to expand your reach. But before we get started, I just want to say that the SLOBCAST is now available to download and listen on iTunes, Google Play, and after tonight's episode, Spotify. Next week will be a Q&A episode, so if you want to ask some questions, you can go to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/deadlyslob, and go to the SLOBCAST playlist. Click on this episode and leave a comment. I'll be doing my best to choose the most popular comments to drive the next podcast. Okay, so with all the formalities out of the way, I just want to welcome you guys back. So today we're going to be starting off the conversation by talking a little bit about expanding on YouTube. So you have a live streaming platform or you want to become a bigger broadcaster, or even, let me just say, I'm going to include blogging too, because anything online is very similar to each other, especially when it comes to expanding your reach or growing a business. There's nothing wrong with getting involved with a little bit of social media, and creating a YouTube channel for pretty much anything is always going to drive a little bit more attention than if you didn't focus on it at all. But when it comes to broadcasting on Twitch, it's actually a lot easier than you think it is, because you can edit live broadcast footage to upload directly to your YouTube channel. There's even a built-in system on Twitch, and I'm sure other streaming platforms have this as well, that allows you to edit and highlight cool moments from your channel, from your broadcast, and actually just upload them directly to Twitch themselves. And I feel like if you are a serious hobby or want to be a full-time broadcaster, then there's no reason why you should not be doing this. In fact, I even recommend taking it to the next level and editing these highlights. That's what I do. In fact, if you go to my YouTube channel, the vast majority of my gaming content is actually just lightly edited Twitch highlights, cool moments, ideas I have during the stream that I think people might like, or I might create something like a challenge and do it during the broadcast and then split it up into a series that I know is going to drive content on YouTube. And you're probably wondering, like, how do you come up with these ideas? It's just practice makes perfect. Just think of something, do it, create it, and see if anybody responds to it. Now, Twitch has actually made this a lot easier for you, because you can now download Twitch clips. You haven't been able to easily download Twitch clips before without using some weird Google Chrome extensions, but you can actually just go directly to your stream dashboard and go under your stream summary to see your top clips. And you can actually just easily, within you can do this in a half an hour, I promise, with very little practice or knowledge about how to make videos at all. You can download some of your top weekly clips, mash them together in a free video editing software, upload it to your YouTube channel, and you now have your weekly top tips that you can send all your viewers to watch on a weekly basis. You can even do daily highlights or even daily Twitch clips and upload them to YouTube. I mean, take it from me, man. I was never that great at making YouTube videos, but I did it anyway, and everybody needs to start somewhere. So creating something, or at least uploading your highlights that are titled correctly in the category. I honestly, if you do think about going in the highlight direction, don't put Twitch highlights in the title. Name it something clever, or put the game and then put a hyphen and then what the clip is about, me getting this sweet triple kill or something like that. Putting your name and then a highlight of the week, it's not really appealing to anybody who doesn't know who you are. And I see a lot of even bigger streamers do that, but those guys are uploading videos not to really expand the size of their stream. They're doing it specifically for their viewers. You want to introduce yourself to as many people as possible. So naming the game category, clever title that's based on the clip, upload it. You can even, if they allow it, upload it to the subreddit or the forums in a media section to help increase the potential viewership of this clip, as well as having a Twitter channel or having a Twitter account and then putting the videos on there as well with the hashtag of the game that you're playing. There's so many different avenues that you can try to promote. So the idea is like you want it to snowball. So the first time you do this, you're probably only going to get, I don't know, let's be like pessimistic and say that you only get like 5 viewers in total. Well, that's 5 people that may have never watched anything that you've done before and may be interested. Let's say one of those guys subscribed. Well, that's great. The next time that you upload a highlight, odds are that guy is going to see it and view it. Or chances are, maybe he won't, but there's a good chance he will. And then that video gets 5 to 10 viewers. And you get another subscriber, another 2 subscribers. And every single day you upload a cool clip or a cool highlight, and you continue this routine of contributing this to a media section on the game forums, or like I said, if they allow it, on like a subreddit media section, or even including it in your Twitch chat, like setting up a Nightbot or a MooBot and says, hey, check out the new daily YouTube video here and click this link. Anybody who stops by will click it and check it out. It's going to gain a little bit more attention. And in that video at the very end, you need to make sure that you mention that you're a live streamer, and you want to say the times that you're streaming. So at this point, you should already have like a consistent and dedicated schedule to whenever you're going to be live. So you want to be like, for example, you guys can catch me every single day starting at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time and Sundays at noon. I include the time and the time zone that I'm broadcasting in, as well as like the name, like twitch.tv/deadlyslob. That way at the end, if somebody really wants to know who you are, they have a better probability of finding you out. Now, the programs that I currently use, I use Photoshop, and I have the Creative Cloud monthly subscription. Having access to Photoshop as a full-time creator is awesome, and I do recommend it. I think there is some free programs out there, but I actually don't know the names of them. If I did, I would share them with you to create thumbnails. Thumbnails, like creating like clever and catchy looking thumbnails, will help increase the chances of somebody clicking on your video for the first time. And if you're wondering what makes a good thumbnail, type in the name of the game that you want to be playing and making videos for, and take a look at the top 20 creators, what they're doing, and create a very similar artistic style and titling scheme to match their content, or do something similar. It doesn't need to be copycat, but you know they're doing something right, so you want to learn from the best. You can also just not include any thumbnail at all. It's not that key. As long as the title is listed correctly as something that can be catchy. You can even try to be a little clickbaity if you want, but I personally don't like clickbait, and I try not to make any of my videos with clickbait because I don't want to like mislead the viewer in any way. But you know, not everybody holds the same opinion as me. Lots of YouTubers go super clickbait and they don't give a shit. They'll put something that's completely like not even what the video is about. Like, how many YouTubers out there have you seen with the title "I quit"? Right? When you go to their YouTube channel, what do you expect to see? It's like you're expecting to see this person like breaking down emotionally, talking about why they're quitting their YouTube career or their job. But instead you have like a vlog, and then they're like at the end, "Oh, just kidding, I'm not quitting." You know what I mean? So you can move in that direction. You won't get a whole lot of respect from me, but you know what? In this day and age, what is respect on YouTube anymore anyways, right? So really, you want to learn by watching other people. It's the same thing if you want to be like a novelist. How do you get better at writing stories? You read stories. You actually take a look, like a deeper look on how that author structures the novel. And that's how you learn how to become a better writer, right? Same thing with YouTube. If you want to become a better YouTuber, you need to start watching a lot of YouTube videos in your category and see how they structure their content, and do something similar, not copycat, but something similar. Like it really isn't any courses out there that's going to teach you how to create perfect gaming content. It's just something that you need to watch and then have a creative idea and then explore that idea and see what happens. Now for me, since I've been on the YouTube platform for so long, I actually don't watch other gaming YouTubers anymore, especially in my game category, because I'm gotten to the point where I'm afraid of doing something similar to another content creator. In fact, just tonight I uploaded a video like covering this game called Vigor and like talking about everything that we know about it and then my thoughts and opinions on that game. And sure enough, I just wanted to see like some gameplay footage, and I noticed there was other content creators that were in my category that already had YouTube videos on the game. And I sat there and was like, damn, should I make this video? And at the end of the day, I was like, yes, fuck yes. I want to make this because people who watch my channel want to hear my opinion on this game, right? Not just all the other content creators. They want to listen to what I have to say. So for me personally, it's a challenge sometimes with complacency. The more gaming YouTubers in my category that I watch, the less likely I'm going to want to create cool, interesting content. But of course, when I first started making World of Warcraft videos, I looked to other WoW creators back in the OG days to see what they were doing and sort of mimicked and created ideas similar to theirs. Not cookie cutty, like I said, don't be a copycat, but get some creative inspiration off of other people. Again, another example is musicians. Musicians get creative inspiration by listening to music. So a lot of, I guess, creative workflows and how you begin is similar. I truly feel like if you are a full-time streamer or if you want to become one, it's not really something that you should do. I honestly believe at this point, knowing what I know now, it's something that you need to be doing. You need to be creating content on other platforms other than Twitch, especially if you want to expand your growth. Maybe you don't have to do that in the end game, right? Once you actually establish that sizable community. Like where I am right now, I could probably survive just by doing Twitch alone without having to really worry about creating YouTube videos every single day. But there's also another beautiful benefit of doing YouTube, and that's ad revenue. So in the early days of streaming, you're going to need to find multiple different ways to finance what you're doing, especially if you are diving in full time with only maybe 50 to 100 viewers. Not ideal, but a lot of people start that way. You have a couple options. I mean, you can get sponsors, but sponsors are really only going to provide you with like affiliate deals at the lower level, like commission sales. You're not really a sponsor. You're more like a salesperson for that product. And I can't tell you how silly it looks when I see a smaller streamer with like 5 to 10 sponsors and they're just selling out as hard as they can to try to finance their stream. Not a good look, trust me. But YouTube, on the other hand, you're killing multiple birds with a single stone. You're expanding your audience and you're generating ad revenue. Now, lucky for you guys, you don't actually need to join a YouTube partnership program to get access to AdSense. You can just be an independent YouTuber now as a gamer, and then eventually through your dashboard on YouTube, you can apply to enable monetization on your videos and start earning revenue. Before, back in my day, back in the OG days, it wasn't so easy. So you're living in the perfect time to get started on this right now. Of course, like you're not going to be rolling in the dough. Like you're not going to be making nearly as much money as you would on Twitch. But let me just use some of my numbers as an example. When I was getting about 500,000 monthly views, I was making anywhere between $500 and $700. Right now, believe it or not, I'm going to be completely transparent with you guys. I can make over $1,000, sometimes $2,000 a month on my YouTube channel. You got to remember, this is untaxed revenue though. So depending on what country you're in, you have to actually claim your taxes at the end of the year. So reduce like 30 to 40% depending on the tax bracket that you're in. And if you're living in a goddamn socialist country, no, I'm just kidding. But if you have healthcare and stuff like that, you got to factor that in. But it's good money is what I'm trying to say. It actually ends up paying for itself quite well. And if you're looking for a good website to keep track of how many views you're getting, YouTube's analytics isn't that bad, but Social Blade, you can track your Twitch analytics and your YouTube analytics on that website. There's also a cool website for Twitch called Twinge, TWINGE.TV, and it actually gives you some really awesome statistics on your Twitch channel to monitor if you're growing or not, how much concurrent viewership you're having, and just overall interesting stats. Those websites were cool to use, but I have to say Twitch has knocked it out of the park with their new analytical system in the dashboard and their stream summaries. There is no other website out there that you can view better statistics and information than Twitch now. Used to not be the case, but it's pretty great. So if you haven't done that yet, dive into your stream summaries and your channel summaries. You can find out some really cool information. So let's kind of get back to YouTube. You should be trying your best to upload one video a day or as many videos that you can per week, but you need to be careful to not oversaturate your viewers with content. At most, I would say 2 videos a day. If you're pumping out more than 2 videos a day, you need to start scheduling out those videos, which you can do. You can actually schedule content in advance. So if you have a particularly good stream and with lots of great clips, highlights, and content, you can set that up like in a single afternoon to make sure that your YouTube audience is getting consistent content throughout the weeks. In fact, if you're just uploading highlights, you could probably schedule a month's in advance of content within just a week or two and just make sure that there's always something going up on YouTube. You can also do like a weekly Q&A. It's something that I'm actually going to be starting to do in this particular podcast, but you can actually do a YouTube video and just be like, hey guys, ask me questions every single week. I'll get back to them. We can have like some sort of dialogue or conversation with some gameplay footage in the background, or even you can take it one step further and edit what the viewers are seeing on the screen based on the questions that you're talking about. And then in my opinion, the holy grail of gaming content you want to make on YouTube is guides and informational content. If you are creating guides on how to become a better player or how to complete tasks or doing reviews on content like weaponry or maps or strategy or covering brand new game news, that's not bad. And again, like I said, put on the blinders here. There is totally going to be lots of other YouTubers that are doing similar content, but you don't want to worry about them. You want to be a little bit selfish here. And if you want to do, let's say, for example, Halo news, do Halo news. If you want to do Escape from Tarkov news and updates, you go for it. Don't care what anybody else is doing. If you want to do task videos or guides or questing guides for World of Warcraft, dive right into it. Guides are definitely the best way, especially if you are playing a game and you do a quick Google search and you're noticing that there really isn't a whole lot of content in one aspect of the game, and you go after that, you're going to start to grow. I'm going to use a member of my community named Anton as an example in the Escape from Tarkov game category. Anton was a community member. He's a great content creator, twitch.tv/Anton with a bunch of underscores. I sadly don't know how many underscores is in his name, so I can't give him a proper shout out, but just Google Anton Escape from Tarkov and you'll find this guy. Anyway, he was a community member that created YouTube videos to provide information on game mechanics that nobody else was covering. He found a way, I don't think he had any intention, to my knowledge, of becoming a really big YouTuber or even a broadcaster. He just wanted to create cool content. And then it sort of escalated to the point where there was lots of people that wanted to watch his videos, and then he started broadcasting and streaming, and everybody knew him in the category because of his kick-ass videos that nobody else was doing. So if you can find an area of the game that you're playing that can tackle that, then you are going to see a lot of growth opportunity. And if you're listening to this and you don't really play video games, but you're sort of interested in the YouTube aspect, you can expand this to other things like outdoors, sports, beauty and makeup, food, entertainment, movies, celebrities, vlogging. Find something that nobody else is really covering. Like, people are kind of in that area, but there's just no content there. And if you fill that void, if you find a clever way of making that happen, I promise you'll see some success. Mind you, you can't just slap up terribly edited content, so you need to work on that a little bit, but just try your best and people will see that you're putting the effort into it at the very least and consider watching it more often. Another thing that you can do is collaboration. Now, I collaborate a few times a week with other Twitch streamers, but I haven't done a YouTuber to YouTuber collaboration in a long time, mainly because I primarily upload cool moments from my stream to my YouTube channel, so I'm going to be collaborating with broadcasters. But if you can find people that are also kind of new to the scene, that have a small little community foundation that's forming, you can introduce yourself to them and you might be able to pick up a few viewers, and vice versa. You can mutually benefit each other. But you need to be careful. You want to do occasional collaborations. You don't want to be the person that starts relying on collaborations on a daily basis to create content. Because in the Twitch world, I hate to use this term because I think it implies negative intent, but the word leech, you don't want to become a leech. And that means that your content and your channel survives solely on the success of somebody else. So you need to be very careful. And that can happen completely by accident. I don't think people do, like, quote unquote, I don't think leeches, quote unquote, ever really realize what they're doing until that person goes away and they realize the viewership is gone too, because they didn't really get an opportunity to introduce themselves and formulate their own communities. They sort of relied on the larger content creator, and whenever the larger streamer or content creator leaves, the viewers leave with them, and then you're sort of left with this empty community and this empty shell, and you're kind of scratching your head on what the hell just happened. So it can happen to anybody. So and the easiest way to avoid that is simply creating like a rule for yourself. For example, I will not do more than 3 collaborations a week on my live stream. So 4 days of the week, more than 50% of the time, I am there on my own, chilling out and hanging out with my stream. 3 other days of the week, I'll collaborate either with my man Markstrom TV, who is probably my closest stream friend. We actually cover similar games, but we also have very different styles of streaming, which is great. So we do a stream once a week together, usually like every Wednesday. And then I will typically do collaborations with other broadcasters in the category, either somebody that I know or possibly even somebody who is new. And I truly feel that's the healthiest way of running collaborations. So try the similar approach on YouTube. So I guess we can talk a little bit about how you should tag your YouTube content. I don't think there's really a perfect answer to that because, believe it or not, YouTube primarily looks at the title now first and like the thumbnail before anything else. So you typically, it used to work like this when I used to work in YouTube MCNs anyway. Things may have changed since then, but title of the video and then the thumbnail, your tags, and then your description. It all does matter, and you want to make sure that it's sort of keyworded. And when I say keyworded, if you're playing a game like, for example, Halo, the first word of the title should probably be Halo, or Halo 3, for example, dash the content that's in the video, and then your description should be like, this is a, something, or just actually explain what's happening in the video. Don't just have the first line as a link to something else. And then your tag should be the name of the game, like how to play. Type in things in the tags that you would be searching in order to try to find your video, right? So, and it doesn't need to be overly complicated like that. So, for example, Halo 3 gameplay, Halo 3 news, Halo 3 story, Halo 3 action, epic clips. And for video games, particular patch notes numbers like DayZ 0.63, DayZ beta, like DayZ 0.63 gameplay, those are all really good tag ideas. But don't worry if you're a little bit nervous about tagging your videos correctly. It doesn't really matter as much as the title. But the biggest thing that ensures that your videos show up in the search results is actually audience retention. How long people are watching your videos from start to finish. And you'll actually have access to that information in your YouTube dashboard. And it's a good idea to keep an eye on that because it'll give you critical information on when viewers are starting to watch your videos and when they're leaving. And you can actually go to that video and take a look at what was going on at the moment that the vast majority of the viewers left, and then try to correct that mistake to increase the chances of people staying on that video longer. The longer the video with the longer audience retention means the higher search results. there's a YouTuber named Frankie on PC in 1080p. Unfortunately, he doesn't really make videos anymore, but back in the day, he created DayZ content that was like 30 to 45 minutes long. And the content and the storytelling was so good that the audience retention of those videos was extremely high. Like we're talking like 60 to 80%. His videos would be the number one and probably still are in the near the top slot whenever you search DayZ, because whenever a viewer lands there, they stay the longest, and that is the most valuable to advertisers. So YouTube wants to prioritize that. I guess we'll finish up by talking a little bit about demonetization, because it is kind of important to know about if you're interested in getting involved with YouTube. And yeah, unfortunately, if you're the type of person that is super politically charged, or even if you curse too much in your videos, or if you're playing a FPS or a shooter game and there's frequently weapons in your thumbnails, then you're going to run into what is called demonetization, where you get flagged automatically by an algorithm and your video no longer generates revenue for a short period of time. The good thing is, even if you're just cursing like a sailor and there is weapons everywhere in a video game, as long as it's a video game, you just need to appeal it, and then in a few days it'll actually be monetized again for the most part. I've never ran into any problems. I curse occasionally in my videos and I don't have any issues with it, and there's usually weapons in the thumbnail. So if that happens to you, don't panic, submit an appeal. It was most likely a mistake. At first, you're probably going to get flagged a lot, but YouTube's algorithm has machine learning. The more approvals that start to happen on your content, the less likely you'll be automatically flagged whenever you upload a video. So just be patient, continue to upload, and you're probably not going to be making that much ad revenue from your videos anyway in the early day. So the sooner that you can get started, and sooner that like the algorithm can recognize your content as being positive for advertisers, you'll probably be in a better spot for it. So in summary, if you're somebody who is looking to expand their reach online, no matter what you're doing, creating a YouTube channel and uploading consistent content, possibly on a daily basis, is one of the best ways to expand your reach. There's really very little like other websites or avenues that you can go to that will give you as much positive growth and viewership as YouTube. And if you're somebody who is a full-time broadcaster or considering becoming a full-time broadcaster and you're not already uploading YouTube content, start uploading your highlights. Put in 10, 15 minutes a day creating those Twitch highlights and uploading them. I promise you, uploading them is better than not doing anything at all. Even if you think your content isn't worth it or it's not up to par with other creators, don't worry about that now. Just get started doing something. And remember, your goal is to just get a few more followers than you normally would on a regular basis. Well, everybody, it's pretty late at night for me right now, so I'm going to wrap up this podcast. But before I leave you guys, I just want to remind you that next week's episode will be a Q&A, pretty much about anything you want to ask me. So if you guys want to get a chance to ask some questions, go to youtube.com/deadlyslob and go to the SLOBCAST number 3 in the comment section of that video. Ask as many questions as you like. I'll be picking the most popular questions and talking about them during next week's podcast. And just a reminder for those that might be listening on YouTube, the SLOBCAST is now available on iTunes and Google Play Store. So you can just type in SLOBCAST to find it and subscribe and listen to download. And it will be eventually available on Stitcher and Spotify. To new listeners, you can catch my daily live streams every single morning starting at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time and Sundays at noon at twitch.tv/deadlyslob. I play games like Escape from Tarkov, DayZ. They're survival shooters, hardcore survival tactical shooters, where death means everything. When you die, you lose all your supplies, and it's very dramatic. You might be into it. Once again, I want to thank you guys for listening to the podcast, and I'll see you guys next time.